This is audio file 22 from the question and answer book The Mancharians' Newest Civilization. In this file the Mancharians explain to us what the Akashic Records are, as well as the conditions for our personal evacuation from this planet. We also hear about the transformational power where truth is allowed into the soul. The information you will hear now is taken from the question and answer book, called The Mancharians' Newest Civilization. All sessions were recorded in 1995 in Tempe, Arizona. We offer these audio files as a free gift under the Creative Fair Use copyright rules. The text in spoken words may therefore be freely copied, distributed, and stored in any electronic format, provided no text is altered, and the authors' names are not removed from quotations of any length. All commercial copyrights are reserved by the publisher. Director, can you please explain to us what the Akashic Records are and how they work? Mancharians, indeed. This again is a muchly sought after but simple concept. The DNA coding within each individualist is proceeded upon by activation of higher self, which, as we have stated before, contains and is in fact the key. The coding, as you pass through each lesson from what you would term the beginning, as we term rebirth, the start of your lessons upward on your journey. Those are all coded in on your DNA patterns as the helixes are joined up, which are simply the steps of consciousnesses through dimensions, as they are joined one dimension at a time. This is why you find some with more helixes joined together than other people, all depending upon their steps of conscious endeavor, and what plane they have achieved, and what vibration, and what they are doing with it, if anything. Do you understand? Director, not entirely, because the way I view the Akashic Records is, this medium here has been given the right to enter the records in behalf of other people either by herself or through another entity, and yet she sees the events of that individual unfolding before her eyes as if in a movie, with herself being the invisible observer. How can that concept be reconciled with what you just said regarding DNA coding in our cellular structure? Mancharians, simply because, and here let us begin again from the beginning, each individual, as they begin their lessons and perform lifetime after lifetime, each of those lifetimes is encoded in their DNA. As they progress onward and are far enough in their evolutionary growth, then the helixes begin to be rejoined up. Those who have already progressed to the point where the majority of the helixes are rehooked up or have not ever been unhooked. And there it is a different story. Here we are dealing with dualities of consciousnesses again, but that is for another topic at another day. To get back to our topic then, those who have the helixes rehooked up almost into finality for their conscious growth at that particular time in that particular type of body, have earned the right, is simply because they have already connected. In an effort then to help their fellow man, as you put it, they have the ability and have performed the connection. When you perform the connection into full consciousness, do you not think that you have connected with the essence of the universe, with the conscious minds of those others? And do you not believe then at that time that you have connected, where you can tap into the universal resources that you cannot help the down troops who have not proceeded to that effort yet? Director, I see. So then there is a definite link between the DNA and to what degree it is connected and the visual images that appear before the person, who is seeking out information of the past. Mancharians, indeed, for it is written, as below, so above, and vice versa. Once you connect with the so above, can you not connect with the so below? Is it not harder to connect with the so above than the so below? The DNA, which is structured, or rather the body structured from the DNA, is simply a housing station for all the memories intact. This is in essence what you are made up of at that point. We are not discriminating between the DNA coding, the helixes or the light, for the light in totality is the full essence. It is similar then to having coding on a disk, a relay of information to bring back into the creation. Director, and yet the records are sacred to the point where access can only be obtained with permission of individuals concerned. Is that so? Mancharians, the access by permission is simply because of those who perform it to the level of being able to activate the records are filled and work on the laws and principles of integrity, for without integrity you would not attain to that level, or even close to it, because you have integrity, you go by the understanding which is built into your own DNA and system and understanding and consciousnesses. And those consciousnesses of others which you tap into because of that integrity, one would not even consider going into the records of another to intrude upon that person's or individual's privacy. It is not so much the records cannot be accessed, they can, but integrity dictates they will not. And as you find even in progression and elevation of evolution, should you break those own laws, which are so a part of you or integrated into a very soul consciousness and spirit divine, that you would severely bring much karma upon yourself and hinder your growth. But as we have said before, when you attain to such levels, you would not conceivably even think of it, never mind partaking. Director, will we be evacuated in spaceships or have our physical bodies transformed into light bodies? How are we to expect things to be wrapped up? Mancharians, this is an interesting debate, we notice, upon your planet. Here we are not dealing so much with the craft or with bodily changes as you see it. We deal with neither, and yet we deal with both. Here again we have a duality of purpose. We're dealing with one word here. We're dealing with the word frequency. As light is brought down and truth is given back up, so then do the frequencies change. When the frequencies change, you indeed do see what you would perform to be as bowls of light or ships for evacuational purposes. At the time, however, of the bodily transformations, and here is another interesting aspect, for the body, we know you have been told, will be changed as in the twinkling of an eye, and there will be no more disease, and the body will appear as beautiful and gratifying unto the spirit of the creation. And this is where the very third, in your cases, or inside etheric bodies. And remember, we have told you about the eternal glowing white light that is within each of you, for having this activated will activate the essences in the other bodies, including the outer physical body or glove, and as that is motivated, you will find that as you are taken up off this planet there will be no trouble, because the molecular structure will be aberrated, or subjoined within another. What we mean to say in your words then, it will meld within one another. The etheric body will become the physical and the physical the etheric. And there will be a changing of atoms and molecules, into the perfect shape of your desire, still retaining the etheric quality of substance. So therefore, because you will be released in that form and fashion, and because of purity of heart taken up into the capsules, you will see that it is not really operations that the ship's councils may do, though here again they have evolved to the point where they are well equipped in many areas. But it is through the self-transformation of yourselves. Director, I see. That is very interesting. I in my own life have noticed, that the more awareness I develop of truth and reality around me, the more I would draw those truths and realities to myself. Is that so? Mancharians, indeed. For reaching for the stars is not without a price. It also is not without a limit. There is no barrier you cannot find yourself to break through. For astral travel at your level is always possible and should be implemented as often as you can find time, because this is the consciousness of your growth and expansion. This is a gift, really, as you could call it, for certain steps of evolutionary process. This you have earned. And this you should use. If you earn $10, would you not indeed feel free to use it? Or would you bury it under your bed covers and leave it there, thinking that one day perhaps you'll use it? Meanwhile you lie and starve. End of file 22. Our presence on internet is freeearthsystem.net. Also, starshipfederation.atspace.com.co.uk. My presence on Facebook is facebook.com/Sentana-Ries. It is our intent to present to you listeners the words of the Mancharians from the book The Mancharians' Newest Civilization in audio segments of approximately 5 to 9 minutes in length. Happy listening.